Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of Sport Talk. I'm your host Evan, and today I'm joined by Zach and Lucas, and today we got a good podcast for you guys. A bunch of stuff in the NFL and some basketball for you, so a bit of both worlds today. But we're going to be talking about all of the free agency things that have been happening in the NFL trades that have been happening, talking a little bit of March Madness, then we're going to talk about some hot teams in the NBA coming down the stretch. And so, yeah, it's going to be a good one. So first off, we'll talk about the big trades that have happened in the NFL. There's been a ton of them.
Multitude.
And basically, it feels like one every single day. So the first one we'll talk about, which was a more recent one, is Deshaun Watson got traded to the Browns. In exchange for pick number 13 and pick 107, a 2023 first-rounder, 2023 third-rounder, 2024 first-rounder, and a 2024 fourth-rounder. Mm-hmm. We'll start with you, Weave. What are your thoughts on this trade?
Well, I think the Browns are just trying to do what the Rams did when they thought they were just a quarterback away from the Super Bowl, so they sold their souls to get Matt Stafford. Mm-hmm. I think that is what the Browns are doing.
It did pay off, though.
That worked, but I don't think it's going to work like that for the Browns.
Really?
Do you think they're going to win the Super Bowl?
I think they have a legit shot. They've got an insanely good defense with Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, and their offense has Nick Chubb and
no receivers.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
And you have Deshaun Watson throwing to him. Deshaun Watson's been crazy good and has had nobody at wide receiver.
Would you say they're better than the Bengals?
Beat them twice last year, and they added Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper.
Going into this year.
Yeah. I think the Bengals are better, but I think the Browns will win both games.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it all depends, because he can play, right? Or is that still up in the air? He's allowed to play. Okay.
But the other thing is, you don't even know how. The guy hasn't played football in
a year.
Yeah, but still, you don't know.
He was insanely good when he last played.
I still think Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in that division.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson will have to prove himself.
I think, Deshaun Watson is very good, but I do not think that he is going to win a Super Bowl in Cleveland, though.
No.
He's not going to do that crap.
I think there's a legit shot there.
No. The way the AFC is looking, the
Browns aren't even on my radar in the AFC.
Yeah, they would be below.
I think they have they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl or anything.
Is that what you thought about the Bengals this year?
No, I didn't think
the Bengals have a much more. Exactly. The Bengals have a more complete team, though.
They do.
The Browns, they don't have any receivers.
The Bengals are literally Amari Cooper. The Bengals are loaded at almost every position.
It's fair to say
they are
they're
loaded
at least
at
decent
almost every position.
Yeah.
And defensively, they are at least average across that every position on defense. Yeah. They fixed the line. I don't see any reason why people are saying the Browns are better than the Bengals and they have better odds to go to the Super Bowl or better odds to win the division just because they added one player.
I think the Bengals will win the division, but I think the Browns have a chance to go farther.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't think the Browns are going to... Let's keep in mind here, they're still the Browns.
Yeah.
They still blow every good thing they have. Let's keep this in mind here. It's been a repeated theme in Cleveland since the 70s.
Yeah.
That is true.
They've had really, really good players before and haven't done anything with them.
I don't know. I think they're going to be really, really good.
I think
they're going to be
11-5 good. 12-4 or whatever, however many games there are now.
11
yeah. Or 11-5.
11-6.
No, 12-5.
12-5.
They will be 12-5.
I can see them.
If they go 12-5, they're winning the division.
How many games?
That's a really good record.
How many games did Baker win his first year? With 8?
I don't know.
8 or 9 probably.
I can see them probably winning. I can see them probably. I see them as a 8.
I see them winning more games than they did with Baker's first year.
I see them being maybe 9-8.
Well, we have to look at the schedule here.
Yeah, it just depends who they play. But honestly, like you said, we don't know what Deshaun Watson we're going to get.
We don't know what Deshaun Watson's going to do, and they are still the Browns.
Yeah, plus, I don't trust Amari Cooper to be the wide receiver 1.
No, that's my
their wide receiver.
Amari Cooper is
their wide
not
receiver.
A wide receiver.
So they're obviously they're probably going to draft a receiver.
Yeah.
So it just really depends which one they draft, but I don't see any receivers in their pick range that are like, okay, that's automatically a wide receiver 1.
I think
like wide receiver 2.
Amari Cooper is not a wide receiver 1 anymore.
No.
I think he'll be like a wide receiver 2.
I mean, he's a solid player.
But he's not.
If the Browns re-sign Jarvis Landry, which is an option now that they got Deshaun Watson, they said, do you think that adds anything?
Obviously, it helps them because
sure.
I think, I mean, their wide receiver 3s right now is like some no-name guy. So obviously, bringing
I don't
Jarvis
know
Landry
any
would
of
help.
their wide receivers except Amari Cooper. I don't know any of them.
Yeah, I think.
I don't either.
Like,
They had David Njoku though. I like him.
They franchise tagged that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
I think. Well,
they did get rid of one of their best linemen though.
J.C. Treader?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they had to release him to get Deshaun.
And they don't have Javian Clowney anymore on the defensive end, so that's gonna not be.
They still have a solid defense.
They're still good across the
thing.
The Browns are definitely going to be a good team.
Yeah, well,
I just don't think. I think everybody's speculating that they're going to go to the Super Bowl and they have better odds than like Bills, Chiefs, Bengals. I think that is just a little far-fetched.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be good. I think they have a good chance to make the playoffs, but I do not think they're going to like do anything like Super Bowl or AFC Championship or something like that.
I agree with that. And you said
they will contend for the division though for sure. The division winner will be Ravens, Browns, Bengals, one of those 3 for sure.
The Steelers are terrible.
Steelers,
but what you said about kind of they're trying to, I guess, emulate what the Rams are doing. Well, the Rams had a more complete roster before they traded, so they were like legitimately a quarterback away.
The Rams,
the Browns are
agreed.
The Browns need a little bit more to just be a quarterback away. Because if you look at the Rams, they had Higbee at tight end, then they had Kupp and Woods, and then Van Jefferson, and then at running back they had Cam Akers, and then on defense they had Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. And I would take all of those guys over what the Browns currently have.
So
I would not take
Miles Garrett.
Yes. Well, they play a different position.
Well, yeah, they play a different position, but
yeah, Aaron Donald's
an interior.
He's interior. Okay. Miles Garrett's an end. But
I'd take Nick Chubb over Cam Akers.
I was about to say I would take Nick Chubb over Cam Akers. But besides that, I'm going with pretty much everyone else the Rams have.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that the Rams were a more complete team than what the Browns. I think the Browns in like a year or 2 could be that. Because, I mean, Deshaun Watson's still fairly young, and I'm sure
if it works out. Yeah,
and I'm sure they can probably bring. But I think this season, with their roster's looking like currently, I don't think they have what it takes. Because you have to think they have to face obviously the Bengals, who are probably going to be just made it to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They have to play the Bills, then
Ravens twice a year.
Yeah. The Broncos got a lot better. The Raiders got a lot better. The Chargers are still really good. The Chiefs are decent.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's a lot of teams you got to look at.
If
in the
AFC was a little bit less stacked, then I would say
if you put the Browns in the NFC, then for sure.
I just think because I don't think they have a complete team yet, and I don't think that they don't stack up as well again in the AFC as other teams do.
Yeah, I mean,
but I can see in a couple years. I can see them making it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, there's so many good teams in the AFC. I'm not ready to put the Browns up there with them yet.
I just don't think you can. I'm not ready to put the Browns up there yet either. I mean, I do think that I think they could. I think they could be a sneaky team. I wouldn't say they're as good as the Bills or the Bengals, but I think that they could be a team that could pull off an upset or 2 and get to the Super Bowl. That's what I think.
It's not bad.
They have the criteria to pull off an upset.
That's not the worst take.
No, I can. That's reasonable.
They have the criteria to pull off a little bit of an upset and to get to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. And once you get to the Super Bowl, I mean, you can win it once you get there. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think they have a chance. That's my take there.
Yeah, they do have a chance. We'll see what happens, I guess. What did you guys think of the haul that the Texans got? I think it was
Texans?
Yeah. I mean, they got
what did they get?
3 first-round picks, a third-rounder, and 2 fourths for Deshaun.
When did that happen?
For Deshaun.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't just give Deshaun Watson away for nothing.
I totally forgot he even.
I think that's a great trade for the Texans because I don't think he was ever going to play for the Texans again. 1, he didn't want to play for the Texans because they're awful. 2, he had so much allegations with them. It would have been terrible for the franchise to trade him. I mean, to not trade him. So to trade him and get that much value in return, since you had to trade him, is phenomenal in my opinion. So I think they did really good on that trade. Plus, They already had a rookie quarterback start this year who did not do horrible.
Davis Mills was solid.
He's not bad. Like if you put a decent team around him, I think they could win more games at least than they did last year.
Yeah, he was
solid. So I think that getting that many picks, I think they did very well in that trade. Because,
I think it was a good trade.
Yeah, because I mean, Deshaun Watson was never going to play for the Texans again.
No.
So I mean, if you're going to have a player that will play for you again, why not get an insanely good trade for him?
They got so much for that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean,
they did very.
They
good
just
on
need
the trade.
talent at this point, and I think getting those
players.
Getting
they
those
got
picks
all
is going
those
to help
picks.
them.
That having all those picks should put them in a pretty good place for.
Hopefully, yeah. They just have to hit on them.
Yeah, that should put them in a pretty good place.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Texans did very well.
Yeah.
How old is Deshaun Watson?
I think he's like 25, 26 maybe.
So he's not old by any means.
He's fairly young.
Oh no, I remember when he was in college.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was.
He's 26.
That's not bad. That's
So
pretty young.
he still has.
He's what?
He's
a year
got-
older than Burrow?
He has Burrow's 24, I think, right now.
So yeah,
Year two.
He actually might be 25. I don't know. Either way,
Yeah, so he's close to Burrow.
Well, and he'll be playing for quite a while.
Yeah. So
Burrow's
I think
25. So yeah.
yeah.
he's
So that
one
they
year older.
could have their franchise QB.
Yeah,
They could.
If
That's
Deshaun
what they
Watson
call it Baker Mayfield
if
too,
Deshaun
but-
Watson continues to play how he did before, before he stopped playing, then yeah, I think then they have a great quarterback because he was like top 5.
He was a stud. He was winning games with the Texans when they had no right in winning any of those games. They had no reason to be in any of those games.
You think he was top 5 in the league?
Yes.
He was up there.
I agree.
At least top 10.
I mean, you just have to go back and look at some of his games.
Yeah,
he had
we
some
forget.
crazy.
No, I know he was good. The last game that I remember seeing him play was when they were beating the Chiefs 24-3 and ended up losing that game. So
he's never had a good team around him.
yeah,
But
well,
he's
he
done-
had DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, but they instantly traded DeAndre Hopkins.
He didn't play when they traded him, though. Right? He didn't play after that, did he?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. But DeAndre Hopkins was halfway hurt all the time,
Yeah.
so you were still winning games without him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it just a second ago about Baker, and he's still on their team, and they tried.
I forget about that all the time.
I know they tried to trade him, and they wanted like a first-round pick back, and the teams were like, absolutely not, we're not doing that. So they couldn't. Obviously, they didn't want to trade him to Houston. They were going to trade him to the Colts, but the Colts got another quarterback. So what do you do if you're Baker Mayfield?
I guess it's really not his choice.
Yeah, he really can't do much about it.
But
what do the Browns do about Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, so that's
a better
like
question.
Was it really the smartest idea for them to completely sell their franchise to Deshaun Watson? Because they can't even get rid of their current quarterback.
I don't think Baker was that bad. I think he was just
really
hurt.
wasn't that terrible.
He played this year with multiple injuries, and some of them being very serious.
And the year before that, he had his best statistical
I was
season.
saying that the whole year this year. Like, all the Browns fans are hating on him. I'm like,
they should have
why?
waited another year. I mean,
Like, give him
they
one
wouldn't have
more
got
year.
Sean.
Yes, he didn't have a good year, but he was playing through injuries, like serious injuries, the entire year.
I mean, and that just showed you that he wanted to win.
I
with your
know.
team. Like, that's the type of guy you want.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
And literally, the last time that he played a fully healthy season, they went to the playoffs.
and they
won a game.
Won a
the
playoff game.
Steelers.
Yeah.
Like
The Browns.
Yeah, I know. So that's why I'm like, why is everybody like hating on Baker Mayfield and ready to just get him out of here? He had one like,
agree.
and the Browns gave up so much for Deshaun Watson. Like, like they literally like sold their franchise to this guy who has like 20 million rape accusations or whatever. Like what?
Yeah.
Like I do not think that it was. I think it was a little bit rushed because
Agreed.
Baker
Yeah,
Mayfield is not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, no, he's not great, but he's not terrible.
I think he would have had a really good year this year if he was healthy.
yeah.
I mean, you got to think he got injured early, and then he had to have like it was a major surgery he had to have, and like he had to deal with some major.
He just
pain.
had the surgery in the offseason, so he
Yeah.
played the entire year
With the torn
with-
labrum.
Yes.
Which
And
for
other
a quarterback,
injuries.
terrible.
Yes, he
Yeah.
had multiple injuries.
And
so
I know
that's
that it's
why,
not like his throwing shoulder, but if you have
It
a
still
torn muscle
affects it.
anywhere and you get hit by a grown man
Still
constantly,
affects it.
you got like that. That's so much pain. And he would just risk his body every time.
I was never on the like, oh, get Baker out of here, get a new quarterback like train. I was never on that. I was
Agreed.
like, give him one more year and see how it goes. But they gave everything they had.
But
So,
on the
I mean-
Brown side, you got to think we're waiting another year to see if he'll be good. And like I can see that side, but I'm still thinking that they should have.
No,
they should
yeah.
have kept
I
him.
don't
Well, and then
think.
now you have the problem that they can't even get rid of him.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that like the hate that Baker's getting right now is like warranted. I think
No, it's not necessary.
I think he was a fine player, solid starting quarterback. But I also think if you have a chance to get Deshaun Watson, you get Deshaun Watson. Like I would take Deshaun Watson over Baker Mayfield every day. But
yeah, see that's
but
why
I mean,
that's
plus
why I
Baker
said,
they already didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so Baker would have either left them or they would re-sign him for probably as much as they paid Deshaun, maybe less.
Demanded that much.
I mean, he's been
he's been
the best quarterback the Browns have ever had.
Yeah, but
So if they were dumb, they would pay him that much money.
They paid him.
I don't think. I think Baker's still a great quarterback. I think he can still lead a team if once he gets healthy and has a decent. I think he's a fine starter.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Deshaun Watson's obvious. I think he's better than him, but I don't.
Was it
I don't
really
think
worth it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll have to see.
They gave up all their draft capital. They gave up like half of their franchise's money,
and they used their number 1 overall pick on this guy.
They drafted Baker Mayfield number 1 overall, and now they're getting rid of him.
I know.
I
do think they
to
rushed
get rid of
that.
him, they have to give away 3 more first-round picks.
Yeah, so that just shows how bad they draft. Like, I mean, are you serious? Like, you took this dude first overall a couple of years ago, and you are already ready to give up on him.
I think they gave up on him too quick.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I understand. Deshaun Watson is a very good quarterback. He's a great quarterback. Yes, I still don't think he's going to go to the Super Bowl.
No,
I do not think he is like a Super Bowl quarterback. But I mean, yeah, he's a great quarterback.
He is a Super Bowl quarterback.
You think so?
Yes. He had the Chiefs down 24-3 in a playoffs game, and the only other weapon he had on his entire team, including defense, was DeAndre Hopkins.
I just said that, and you looked at me like I was crazy because I said he had no weapons. You're like, he had DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm saying he had one weapon. Now he has multiple weapons on offense and defense with the Browns. This team is significantly better than the Texans, so he had, when the Chiefs were like the hottest team ever, and he had them down 24-3.
And then blew that in under a minute.
Yeah.
That's more of the defense. If he has the Browns' defense, they won that game.
I think he's kind of like he can be like kind of like a Matthew Stafford. He's a great quarterback on a bad team, but when he gets to a good team, he makes them great.
Agreed.
But
I am not ready to anoint this guy. Like I am not saying Deshaun Watson is a Super Bowl champion quarterback. I am not anointing this guy.
Can't say that about anybody.
He's played one playoff game in his whole career.
I think he's a Super Bowl level quarterback. He's a level.
There's a difference between being a Super Bowl quarterback and a Super Bowl level quarterback. A Super Bowl quarterback is somebody that's going to go to the Super Bowl. A Super Bowl level quarterback is somebody who can go there, but hasn't yet. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, yeah.
So Joe Burrow is a Super Bowl quarterback.
Yeah, okay.
But
Deshaun Watson is Super Bowl level quarterback.
I'm saying
he can be to that level.
Okay, but like I don't know. I just think that everybody is anointing him way too soon. I mean, the guy's played what 2-3 seasons in the NFL. He didn't play a whole year last year.
Yeah, three seasons.
He didn't even. He took an entire season off because he has 1,000 rape accusations.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that... I don't know.
I agree with you on that.
I am not ready to anoint Deshaun Watson as the guy who is going to take the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl. No,
I
agree
with that. I don't think he is, but I do think that he is a Super Bowl level quarterback.
He could be. Okay, but who would you say couldn't be then? Because you could say that about.
I would say Baker Mayfield's not a Super Bowl level quarterback. I don't think if the Browns had what they had.
Matt Ryan played in the Super Bowl and won the NFL MVP.
Right now he's
Matt
not.
Ryan right now.
Right now.
I mean, his career's over.
So here is Deshaun Watson a top 15 quarterback right now?
Absolutely.
The guy hasn't played in a year.
He was top 5 last year.
I'd say he's
like before the preseason last year before.
I'm sure he's top 15. I mean, you'd have to be not very good and not be top 15.
Yeah.
I think right now he's top 10.
I think he has I just think he has a talent to take a good, well-rounded team around him to the.
All right, you think top 10? You think Deshaun Watson is
better
top
than
10?
Derek Carr? You think Derek Carr's top 10?
I don't know.
I would say right now.
I need to see a listing of every quarterback, and I'll say he is top 10. He's not. No,
I'll pull one up.
I think he's top 10.
Because at one point I said like Mike Evans was top 15, and then I was like, wait, never mind, that's retarded because there's a bunch of receivers that I just didn't know about or didn't think about.
Yeah.
So I need to see a list.
All right, here we go. Number 1, Tom Brady. Is he?
He's top.
Obviously, he's
yes.
top.
He is 47 years old and had the best season he's ever had last year.
We'll just say.
I'm not going to go in order. Just name the names, and we'll say top 10 or not. I mean, Tom Brady, yes.
Here, I'll just. Do you think Deshaun Watson's better than this
Brady?
person? No, that's what I'm just going to say. I'm going to say, do you think Deshaun Watson's better than blank?
Okay.
So I'll go through the ones that are are obviously not. So let's get down here a little bit. Dak Prescott. It's Deshaun.
I don't know.
It's Deshaun better than Dak Prescott.
That's actually a good question.
I
think they're very similar.
I think they are similar. And
think
he has not went to a Super Bowl, and he has a better team than the Browns.
Okay.
And NFL has Dak ranked 9th. So if you were to put Deshaun over that, then he would be on the top 5.
I think he is.
Because the number 10's Derek Carr.
He's better than Derek Carr. He's better than Derek Carr. He's better than Dak Prescott.
So he's
I don't know about Dak.
He's
I don't know
definitely
about
15. So if you go from
He's top 10.
From 10 down, 10's Derek Carr.
Let's not quite say 10 yet.
11's Russell Wilson.
He's better than Russell Wilson.
Russell, what the? The guy's been in 2 Super Bowls.
We're talking like right now, though.
Yeah, I'm talking right now.
I think Russell's better.
Russell Wilson's better than
I think
Deshaun
Russell's
Watson.
Okay, are we going to talk about the Broncos in this one?
No, we're talking about Russell.
Okay, I do not think the Broncos are going to be good this year at all, and I think that was a terrible trade by them. So
I disagree
So
with
I
that.
do not think Russell.
Thanks for your insight.
I disagree with that a lot.
Deshaun Watson is way better than Russell Wilson right now.
I completely disagree with that one.
I
Russell
disagree.
Wilson had a broken thumb last year. He didn't have a very good season like that.
He hasn't had every year. It's the first 4 weeks. Oh my gosh, he's MVP Russ, and every week after that, he's terrible.
Dude, his offensive line's worse than the Bengals.
They did have a worse line than the Bengals, arguably.
Yes, last year, I agree. But the years before that, every year, everybody's like, oh my gosh, he's insane. He's going to be an MVP. And every year he goes from MVP to what happened to Russell Wilson.
Are we just going to go past it? You just said that the Broncos are going to suck.
I think they're going to be bad. Okay.
They have.
By bad, I mean that they will maybe win one playoff game. Everybody thinks they're a Super Bowl contender. They are not. That is a lie.
How will they do
They
in that
have
division?
Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and KJ Hamler. They have Javonte Williams, and they'll probably bring back Melvin Gordon. They have a pretty solid... What? Melvin, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Then they'll probably they have a decent offensive line. They have Bradley Chubb. They have Patrick Surtain. Justin Simmons.
That's great. That's great, but they are not. Their division.
Why are you saying the Browns are going to go to the Super Bowl then? The Broncos have a better team than the Browns.
That is not true. I think the Browns. I think
You are like speaking blasphemy right now. You think a guy who hasn't played in a year because he raped 1,000 girls is better than Russell Wilson, who has been to 2 Super Bowls, won one.
Yes, right now I do. Yes, I do. I think the Broncos are.
Continue with
Okay,
this.
who's in their division?
He's not better than Russell Wilson. Continue with this.
In their division, it's them, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders.
Raiders, yes.
I think the Broncos are third in that division behind the Raiders.
Okay, I agree with you.
Okay, that
Yes.
behind the
I
Raiders?
mean, like above the Raiders. I think the Raiders are last.
Okay,
Hey,
I
wait.
agree with
Question. With Tyreek Hill not on the Chiefs, does that bring them down?
Yes.
I would almost say the Chargers have a better shot to win the division.
The Chargers are going to win,
Chargers
the
will
division.
win the division.
Chiefs will be second just because of.
Mahomes.
I don't know, dude. Tyreek Hill's a big part of that offense.
But, well, I don't know.
That'll be
Chiefs-
interesting. That's
that-
something
yeah.
we're really going to have to watch this year because that'll be
division
interesting.
is. I think the Chargers have
I think the Chargers are
better shot at
definitely
that
number
division.
1.
Yes, I agree, and I think that I don't know with Devontae Adams, low key. I think the Raiders are better than. I just am not high on the Broncos right now. I'm just not.
Interesting.
I'm not.
Interesting.
I'm not
I don't-
high on the Browns.
I know you're not. I just think I think the Browns, if they've had to play the Denver Broncos in the playoffs, Browns would win.
Who else is on this list?
So there's not a doubt that Deshaun Watson's 15. 15's Matt Ryan.
Okay,
And then 14's
Okay, all right, 10. Then.
14's Lamar.
he's better than
Lamar's
Lamar.
than 14.
That's what they have at.
He was not good last year.
It wasn't.
No, but to be 14.
I know that's a little low.
Kirk Cousins is 13.
Okay, that is terrible. Kirk Cousins is awful. He's terrible.
Ryan Tannehill's 12.
What is this list?
This is NFL's list.
This list is bad. This is a bad
This is a bad list.
This is very bad.
Deshaun Watson is better than both of them. I will give you
Yes.
that.
This
Why
is
is Kirk Cousins above
this
Lamar
is
Jackson?
ranking all 62 starting quarterbacks of
There's
the
not 62 starting quarterbacks. There's 32.
of the 2021
This is
NFL season.
What is this?
So like the
list?
teams that started like 3 different guys.
Okay.
Okay, who's last? Who's last on
teams.
this list?
Who's 62?
Yes.
Let's find out. It's probably a backup.
Brandon Allen.
Jake Fromm, quarterback for the Giants.
When did he start?
He
For
played,
the Giants?
He played 3 games. 1 passing touchdown.
Oh, that's right, because
He
Daniel
had
Jones
1
had that
passing
concussion.
touchdown, 3 interceptions, and 2 fumbles.
Oh,
The Giants are so bad.
And then he had 210 passing yards. So yeah, he didn't go bad.
3 games. He had
Terrible.
210 passing yards.
And then the other Giants quarterback is 2 above him. Mike Glennon. He's at 60.
Bad.
Brandon
Okay.
Allen's at 58.
So Deshaun Watson is top 15 then.
I think he's
top 10.
11.
What? Who are you putting in
Who's
front
in
of
the
him?
10?
Who are you putting above him in this? Okay.
Brady, Rodgers,
Okay. Yep,
Herbert,
yep,
Burrow,
yep.
Brady, Rodgers, Allen, Herbert, Stafford,
Mahomes,
Burrow, Mahomes,
Uh-huh.
Kyler, and then I'm putting Russ, and then I'm
Yes.
and then I'm putting Lamar.
Lamar's
Yes.
better than Deshaun Watson is what you're saying right now.
Right now, yes. And then I have
If
Lamar.
we're basing off right now, that list is good.
And then I have Deshaun at 11. But
That's not 11, Evan. That's like 13.
no, I just listed 9.
9, and he added Russ and...
Lamar.
List again.
Lamar.
Lamar.
Uh-huh. Russ.
Those 2 are questionable on my list.
Kyler.
He's also questionable.
Pat Mahomes.
Yes.
Not questionable.
Burrow.
Not questionable.
And was that 5?
That's 5.
And then we have
Rodgers, Brady.
Rodgers, Brady, Stafford,
Yep.
Herbert,
Yep.
Allen. That's 10.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
that
those
would
are
be
7
10.
dudes
So
I
then
know
Deshaun
for
Watson would be 11.
absolute fact.
Who is like right
is better than
outside
Deshaun.
of that?
Dak Prescott.
Dak
interesting.
might be better.
He's interesting.
Dak and Derek Carr, I'd say.
Derek Carr, I don't... Okay.
All right, so I'm going to put him at 11 or 12.
It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that.
Put him at 9.
So you're saying he's better than Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson?
I think...
I think he can be better.
He can be in the
Kyler
top
Murray's
10
interesting.
for sure.
Because... I don't know. He's interesting because when he
He's a
had his
winner.
weapons, he was... Okay, that was a terrible take by John. Okay, but when they had his weapons and DeAndre Hopkins, they obviously went 7-0 and they were very good.
Yeah.
But when they did not have DeAndre Hopkins, they were awful.
They fell apart a little bit at the end of the year.
And they fell apart.
Yeah.
If you're a good quarterback and a franchise level quarterback, your team does not fall apart. A Brady team never fallen apart. Aaron Rodgers,
Has fallen apart.
okay, they have fallen. Okay, but that's
year.
in like the NFC Championship game, right? So it's not like he's like losing in the first round, the wild card like they did.
No, yeah.
Joe Burrow's team not falling apart, and he got sacked the most time. Like that's what I'm saying. Like a good quarterback's team is not falling apart. You put Deshaun Watson, and his team did not fall apart. They had a great win. They didn't, and there was no like
I have him at
They
11.
did fall
That's
apart
not
against
awful.
the Chiefs.
No, they did not. The Chiefs went on a great run, and that's okay. So you're saying the Chiefs fell apart against the Bengals? No, the
Yes.
Bengals. No, the Bengals.
It was the AFC Championship, Evan.
But the, Chiefs
the
fell
Bengals-
apart.
They did not
The
fall apart.
Bengals
The
came out and
Bengals-
actually played football.
They
Well,
played-
that's
good
why
defense.
they fell apart.
They didn't
Fair
fall
enough.
apart. They just tried to
Okay.
play a good team finally in the second half.
But they were. What was the score at halftime?
21-3.
That's falling. That's called.
21-3 at
That's
halftime?
called falling apart if you lose that game.
No, it's not. It's called you go
The
out throw
Bengals
first play
came
touchdown.
out-
You get a
I'm
stop.
not
You
just
score another
kidding.
touchdown.
Football.
You're down 21-17.
Joe Burrow
That
brought
quick.
these guys out.
When
and
I
played
say
football.
when I say falling apart, that means that their offense was stagnant and their defense didn't do. Okay, the Chiefs.
Their offense was stagnant because the defense finally stopped them.
Okay, I'm not saying I'm just saying that the Chiefs were significantly worse in the second half than they were in the first half, and that's a lot of credit to the Bengals.
Yes, because the
But they still
So
fell
every
apart
game-
in the
every
second
game
half.
the losing
due
team
to
falls
the,
apart.
They fell apart in the second half due to the Bengals playing much better than they did in the first half.
falling apart.
that might
is
be
just-
fair, but I think falling apart might not have been the right term to use there. In my opinion, falling apart would be just absolutely I mean, pitiful performance.
It was what the
Interceptions,
Cardinals did against the
fumbles.
Rams.
That's falling apart.
That is falling apart.
That's falling apart.
And listen, you could say, "Oh, the Chiefs fell apart." No, they had a solid lead in that game. They not fell apart. They just got outplayed. The Cardinals fell apart because they never once had a shot in that game.
And the Bengals.
Our definitions of falling apart are not the same.
The Bengals had to fight and claw that entire game.
I never discredited the Bengals.
And they had to hit a game-winning field goal
in overtime.
The Chiefs did not fall apart.
No.
The Bengals clawed their way and played their way back into that game.
Because the Bengals came out and played football.
The Cardinals fell apart, so I do not think Kyler Murray should be on top 10.
I think falling apart is just a little bit of
I think we have a different definition of what falling apart means.
Yeah, I think it's more of like what Lucas said. I think the Chiefs falling apart might be a little severe.
Yeah, I think we just have
that
different
situation.
Different opinions.
Yeah. But anyways, though, Deshaun Watson can be top 10 for sure. Yeah, he's not right now, but he can be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
at least you agree he's like. We're on the same page with some of these guys. I mean,
yeah.
There are obvious guys who are just better than him.
He's not as good as Burrow.
We named 8 guys that are obviously better than him. I mean, and I agree with that.
And these, he's not.
I agree with that. It's just like the Dak Prescotts, the Kyler Murrays, the Russell Wilsons. I'm all like,
and I mean,
the guys that struggled last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're not just absolutely.
I'm not saying he's better than Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or Joe Burrow. Right?
No. Yeah, no, that would be insanity.
He's not a top 5 quarterback or top 7 or 8. He's a end of the top 10 list. He's a 9, 10, 11 guy.
I would say that, and he could be a top 10.
And he could be a top 7 at one point.
I think that even at his best though, I still think he's not in that top 5 range though.
No.
Brady, Rodgers, Burrow, Herbert, and Mahomes, and then Allen in there too. So even with those 6 guys, Deshaun Watson, at his very best, I would say, is still not going to be as good as
Herbert and
these
Watson
6.
are a little closer than you're putting them to be.
Really?
Yes.
We just have to remember when Deshaun Watson played, he was
a stud. He got kicked in the face and still completed a touchdown.
2 of those guys I named weren't even in the NFL when he played either.
Exactly.
So the last time
that's a great point.
So the last time he played football, he would be top 5 because 2 of the guys I named weren't even in the NFL. Burrow and Herbert weren't even in the league at that point.
Herbert is I don't know about Herbert on that one. They didn't make the playoffs.
That's fair too.
That's fair. Speaking of,
and he had weapons.
Yeah,
he did have a lot of. The Chargers were very good, and they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's what I had to say about the Herbert. And
all this bull crap of Herbert being better than Burrow is just
going back to this.
It's absurd.
I think that got put to bed after we made it to the Super Bowl.
Some people it didn't.
Okay,
well that's because
one Chargers friend.
That's because he's never going to change.
It's absurd that you think that Burrow took the Bengals to the Super Bowl.
Nobody is fighting on that except for our one Chargers friend.
Except him.
All right.
So let's just keep going.
Okay, speaking of another top 15 quarterback, Matt Ryan got traded to the Colts.
Top 15.
according to this list, he is 15.
That list is insane. They have 62 quarterbacks listed.
Okay, every team has 2 quarterbacks. That equals 62.
64,
whatever.
32 teams.
I'm just listening to the list. Okay.
Matt Ryan's not top 15.
Who was the one guy that you said? I mean, that me and you just lost it. Who was that? There was one guy that you named. Well, it might have been Matt Ryan.
Ryan Tannehill?
It was Ryan Tannehill. This list has Ryan Tannehill at 12.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not talking about the list anymore. We're on to the trade. Matt Ryan got traded to the Colts.
What are the Falcons get
for a 3rd round pick?
That's just a mediocre trade.
Pick 82 in
that is just a mediocre. That is like a trade where you're like, none of the teams won, none of the teams lost. It's just so mediocre.
I think the Colts won because they went from Sam Ehlinger to Matt Ryan.
They went from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan. Do not say Sam Ehlinger.
Well, I mean,
they went from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan.
Well,
I think that is a completely average trade. Nothing special. Nobody won the deal.
I don't mind it for the Colts though.
I don't mind it for either way.
Well, they weren't going to go far with Carson Wentz, so getting somebody new in there was good. Yes. I agree with that, and that is something it was a good trade for the Colts in that aspect. And for the Falcons, they are going to be terrible for a long time, and might as well get rid of them and get something out of return.
Yeah.
I
just think that they didn't really give much up for him at
They
all.
didn't give anything up, and the Falcons didn't get
But
much in return.
it was an upgrade over what they had.
I think it was a win for both teams.
Agreed.
I mean, it was a average
It's not like
trade.
it's a huge win for both teams, but
No.
it's like a...
It was an average trade that nobody really hugely benefits from. Neither team got screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, the Colts got a new quarterback who's probably better than Carson Wentz, but still.
And then the Falcons signed Marcus Mariota.
And the Falcons got a pick. I mean, it's a
Marcus
third
Mariota, which
round
I
pick,
think
but I mean,
he could be good.
Yeah.
I think he could be good for the Falcons. Now, I'm not saying they're going to have a winning record or anything, but I think he could put up some very good games.
he might be able to win
I
a
think
couple of
he's.
games.
I think he's solid.
He's solid. I think he's solid. He does not deserve to be a backup. He deserves a chance.
I think he can get the
Look,
job.
he's getting his chance now.
I think he
Exactly.
can get the job done.
I think.
I mean, the job done by winning 5 games, yes.
Yeah, no, he's not going to get the job done as in go to the playoffs.
And Calvin Ridley's not there.
Absolutely
so.
not. Getting the job done by just being like a mediocre,
Like a
quarterback.
mediocre team. Agreed.
Yeah,
I would rather
they
have
will-
him than Felipe Franks.
Fair enough.
That guy wasn't even good in college.
They will have a top 10 pick in this next year's draft.
Probably
still,
top 5.
probably. You think top 5 still?
They're terrible.
They're very bad. Their defense is bad.
But
All
when
they've got is
when I think top 5 pick,
actually
I think of like
Kyle
a.
Pitts.
I mean, when I think of a top 5 pick, I think of a team that's only won like 4 games.
Jets.
You think
Jags.
I'm saying they're going to win 5.
Jags. Lions.
that's like really.
The Lions
bad
could
still,
be
though.
actually not bad.
Lions might not be top 5. I would say Atlanta for sure. Jets, no. Dolphins, no.
You don't. Okay, yeah. This is the first time in a long time I'm not putting the Dolphins in that list.
Yeah.
No.
No, I think top 5.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I guess.
Jaguars are obviously going to be top 5 again.
Well,
they need a lot to turn that franchise around. I don't think
guess
Trevor
you're
Lawrence
thinking-
is it.
I mean, you're thinking like because the Jets will probably be out of
The Jets will be
the
decent.
Jets.
Who
The
do they get?
The Jets and the Dolphins will move to the top 10, not the top 5.
Dolphins will move higher than that.
The Dolphins might be.
Dolphins might be I almost said Super Bowl. They are not a Super Bowl team. Might be a playoff contender. Like they might like they were this year. They were on the verge of the playoffs.
Could perhaps be in the hunt. Perhaps.
Yeah.
I think they'll have an average record probably.
Agreed. Yep.
Jets, I'm putting them at a below average record, but not quite top 5. So
I
in
don't
that
think the
sucky
Jets-
area.
I don't
aren't
think-
gonna get. I don't think they're gonna be any better than they were this year.
They're
I
going to be
think-
right in that sucky area where they aren't bad enough to get a top 5 pick, but they aren't good enough to do anything. You know, like they're going to be right in that bad area. They'll probably have a top 10
7.
pick. I think they'll have. I think they'll win maybe 6 games, 7 maybe, which is still
Probably
a losing
6.
record because they play 17 games. So
Yeah. But no, I don't think they're going to be like atrocious. I think they'll be a solid team.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 and 10.
I don't think they're going to be this year's like Cinderella or I don't think they're going to really do anything too.
If they got
surprising.
Tyreek Hill, then I
That's
would
the
say
Browns.
something different. But they didn't. He said he would definitely not playing for the Jets.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tyreek Hill, let's go to the Tyreek Hill trade.
Interesting trade.
He got traded to the Dolphins
Very interesting trade.
For a butt
for
ton of
pick
picks.
29, pick 50, a 4th round pick, another 4th round pick, and a 6th round pick.
That's a great trade for the Dolphins.
Yeah, obviously, I would give that up.
It could be a good trade for the
I would give that up for Tyreek Hill
could be.
9 times out of 10. My thing for the Chiefs,
What's the one time you don't?
I don't know, 10 times out of 10, I guess.
What's your thing for the Chiefs?
So about the Chiefs, I was blindsided by this trade.
Agreed.
Honestly,
I
I
don't
was
think anybody saw
very
I did not
shocked.
see it coming at
No,
all.
me
Like
neither, me
I
neither.
think the
I was
news
shocked.
came out that he was looking for a trade,
And then like an
the
hour
same day.
Yeah, it
as
came out
the
that
trade happened.
he was like looking that they were looking for a trade, and then 2 hours later he was traded.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just
Yeah.
it was really fast, and it was really like what?
But for the Chiefs, obviously they lost probably their best offensive player
Besides their quarterback.
besides quarterback. They still have Travis Kelce, obviously,
Oh yeah,
but their receiving core now is
not
Mecole Hardman, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Mecole Hardman is gone. I'm pretty sure
No,
he's not.
no, he's still there.
Are you certain?
They have Pringle too.
No, Pringle's
No,
gone.
Pringle was the one. That
Pringle's
left.
gone.
Pringle and DeMarcus Robinson both left,
Yes. Okay.
so they just have those two.
But who'd
So they
pick
have
up?
Hardman, Smith,
Who'd they pick
Schuster,
up?
Valdez-Scantling
And Juju.
and Juju.
Don't
Forgot
forget about Juju.
Juju's not bad.
So
No.
they have that. But I don't know. I feel like they were kind of forced because, I mean, obviously he wanted to be the highest paid wide receiver
Yeah,
in
they
the
can't.
NFL.
They couldn't afford it.
And I think that goes back to the Mahomes contract. If they, I think Mahomes 100% deserves that contract.
Oh yeah,
but them giving that contract, it was inevitable that one of their big three was going to leave and want more money, and that happened to be Tyreek Hill. And I didn't think it was going to be now. I thought it would be later, but.
And I think that out of the three, that's the best to get rid of because wide receivers they're
more expendable than tight ends.
To replace than tight ends.
There's not a lot of good tight ends.
They have, without a doubt, the number one tight end in the NFL.
Yeah,
and you do not want to.
Yeah,
and you do not want to get rid of that.
Because some people say George Kittle.
George Kittle's very close.
Okay, they're like neck and neck.
I think it's Travis Kelce.
George Kittle is probably a better rounded tight end.
He's a better blocker.
He's
a better blocker.
When I think of them two, I'm like, okay, they're the.
Yeah.
If I'm in the red zone, I'm throwing to Travis Kelce.
They're in their own level.
Kelsey's a better receiver.
Yeah,
but Kittle's a better blocker.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it's like Kelce and
It's 1A, 1B.
Yeah, and Kittle, and then there's a whole other level after that. Like they're on their completely different level, and there's no one near that level.
I agree with that for sure.
Okay, so it's 1A, 1B, like you said. Yeah, so I think that Tyreek Hill is not the best wide receiver in the league. He's just super fast. So I think if you're going to get rid of anybody, it would be him out of the big three. I think that was the right move if they had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to. No. He's really good. Mm-hmm. And him and Mahomes have that chemistry because they played together for so long. Mm-hmm. But they picked up Juju. So that's. I mean, I'm not saying Juju is anywhere near the level of Tyreek Hill. No.
He's not, but it's not a terrible.
But it's a
solid.
It's not like they're picking up I don't even know who. You know what I mean? They're getting a good wide receiver who's had good seasons when he has a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. So I think that's not bad. Like they've got a good replacement, I guess, for him.
Yeah.
So I think on that part it was good. On the Dolphins side, obviously that is a tremendous trade they just made.
Let's not look past all the picks they got too. The Chiefs.
Oh, I know they got some great picks, especially for being in the Super Bowl and so far every year that they've got some extra picks, which is really nice for them. Mm-hmm. But the Dolphins for sure won this trade. I mean, they were so close to the playoffs this year, and then they picked up Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill is this kind of he's not the deep threat. You know, you don't throw him 60-yard bombs. You throw him like 20-yard slants to where he runs around the field, and fits perfectly into Tua's game.
I was going to say, you can throw the deep balls.
Okay, yes, obviously. You can throw the deep ball to any wide receiver, but that fits perfectly into Tua's game plan where he just throws those quick passes.
I would say that Tyreek Hill is a deep threat as in the sense of he will just run past people and you just throw it to him then.
Yeah. Plus he's not going
to boss people.
Though. Plus the quarterback he had one of the best arms in the NFL.
Yeah, so it just works. So I don't...
I think it'll be a great fit for the Dolphins.
I think it's a really good pick for the Dolphins. I just think I think it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out because I mean the Dolphins are an average team, but now they have Tyreek Hill. They have a very explosive offense.
Oh yeah, because they picked up more than just Tyreek Hill this offseason.
Well, they got
they have still
running back. Edmonds.
So they got Edmonds and Mostert, and then they tagged Gesicki. They upgraded the line I think a little bit.
Yeah, they
got
did.
a couple guys,
and then they still have Waddle.
Exactly. So their offense has the potential to be very explosive this year.
I think their offensive success depends on how Tua plays.
Agreed.
Because Tua, like you said, he's great with the short throws, but deep throws he's not. Mm-hmm. His percentage, I forget what it was, but it was very low. Mm-hmm. And like you said, obviously Tyreek Hill's a burner, so he can just run past the guy. And I think I think at least during the beginning of the season, I think Tyreek Hill is going to be open on a lot of deep throws, and Tua's just going to miss that, which I think might hurt Tyreek's game a little bit. But like you said, he's so explosive, you can just hit him on a slant, he's going to take you to the house.
I mean, you got to think of that Bills game when they had that when he had that touchdown to take the lead. Mm-hmm. You got to think that was not a bomb that Patrick Mahomes threw. That was a little move like that.
Yeah, it was like 20-yard pass.
He got a 20-yard pass in the middle of the field and ran around. And I think with Waddle, how fast he is, and Hill on both sides, you don't have two cornerbacks that can stay with both.
It's going to suck for defenses.
Oh, it's going to be a very hard game plan for defenses.
I'm still just not sure how good they're going to be, though.
Yeah, like I said, it just depends on the play of Tua. If he plays solid, then I think they'll be fine.
Like, are we thinking like?
I think
division winner playoff.
I think
their division's not very good.
Yeah,
the division's like the Patriots, the Patriot division.
They're in the Patriots division, aren't they? Yeah, I think so.
So I think that
they aren't. They're in the AFC South.
They have a chance to win the AFC, their division. Yeah. I think they have a chance to win their
Titans division. My bad.
Yes,
Titans, Texans, Colts, them.
I think
no, just kidding. That's way wrong. That's the Jags. My bad. Jags are in that division.
Where in the world are the Dolphins?
I don't know. I'm looking it up.
Why am I just blanking out on this?
Here we go. Bills, Jets.
They're not going to win the division. Okay, they're not going to win the division, but they're going to be second in the division.
They got it right.
They're going to make the playoffs, and I think they have a chance to maybe pull off one upset. But they're not going to. They're not like a Super Bowl contender, but they are definitely not winning that division.
That was so funny. I think they have a chance to win the division. The Bills, they're not winning the division, but
Good job on resending that.
They're not going to win.
I think they'll finish second.
I think they'll finish second, so they might be. They have potential to be a wild card.
Yeah, they'll be how they were this year, where they're like game away.
They're in the hunt.
Yeah,
they'll be in the hunt.
I think the team that they were hunting, they're going to be that team will be hunting them this year.
We can't talk about
the division.
We can't talk about the Dolphins without talking about Mr. Mike McDaniel. That guy is a great coach.
That'll be interesting to see how that works out as well.
He's a legend.
He's an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
From San Francisco.
They'll be in the hunt.
Yep.
And he wore a wife beater today with a shirt.
That was a good look.
Quite a strange shirt.
Yes, that's the shirt.
He's a bit of an odd dude.
He really is.
No.
I
bet him and the Lions coach get along very well.
He's a little short, dude. He's a real tiny guy.
Him and the Lions coach probably get
I'm
along
really
very
excited to watch just his press conferences this year.
Yeah.
So that'll be so entertaining.
It will be indeed.
All right, moving on. This is one of the bigger trades. Was the Devontae Adams trade? So Devontae Adams got traded to the Raiders for pick 22 and pick 53. Now, before we start, I think that this was a god awful trade for the Packers. I think they could have gotten a lot more. Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the NFL, and they got a first and a second.
Who's one?
And you see.
Okay, let's just let him finish first.
And you see Tyreek Hill got 5. They got 5 picks for Tyreek Hill, and they only got 2 for Devontae Adams.
I think,
but Devontae Adams did want to leave, and so maybe that hurt them a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still think you could have. It's the Raiders. You can sweet talk them into giving them stuff. Okay?
You can screw the Raiders a little bit.
Yeah. You of all people would know. So yeah, I think the Packers should have gotten a lot more back than what they did. The Raiders is just an A+ trade.
That is a spectacular trade for the Raiders.
They just upgrade their receivers so much better. Plus, they pair him up with Derek Carr. With Derek Carr, so you have Derek Carr, Hunter Renfrow.
Derek Carr, top 15 quarterback.
Derek Carr.
I think it was a great trade for the Raiders, and I think the Packers. I think the Packers should have and could have gotten more.
Agreed. I think that. So this is how I think it went in my head. I was like, okay, Devontae Adams is going to leave. And then they franchise tagged. I was like, okay, they're gonna go one more year since they signed Aaron Rodgers. They're gonna try to run it back. Maybe and then boom, he's gone. I was not expecting that. That blindsided me. Once after they tagged him.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what surprised me. I thought he was gonna leave until they tagged him.
Yeah,
I definitely
because when you get tagged, you get a ton of money for being tagged for 1 year. You get like 20-something million. That's a lot of money.
I agree with that. So, I was a little shocked.
I think it's a.
Me too. I was shocked.
Like you brought up a great point with the picks and Tyreek Hill. They could have gotten more.
Oh my goodness, they could have and should have gotten more.
Yes,
that's what I just said.
I mean, the Packers, what on earth?
I don't know what made them say yes to that trade.
And I think, they did that trade, and then Tyreek Hill was traded after that for
more money.
It was a sack of picks.
It was, I think it was
more money.
5 picks and more money.
And more money. So the Packers are probably looking back at this
like crap. We should have waited.
What in the world did we do here? Because Devontae Adams is, in my opinion, he is undisputed the best receiver in the league. He is insane.
He's very
he is just absolutely ridiculous. And they gave him away for a first and a third round pick.
That's it.
And it's not
that's all they got.
But it's not like the first. It's not like the first was like top 10. It was pick 22.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is a really bad trade.
Yeah, I bet the Raiders, when they said yes to that, just started screaming.
Oh, I mean, the Raiders. I mean, you take that and run.
Well, because not only did you get Devontae Adams, arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL, you get his chemistry with Derek Carr they had in college.
Yeah.
So that's something
Which
that
I will say, I do not think that is near as good as what Rodgers and Adams had.
No.
Not even close.
Okay, yes, agreed 100%. But look at how
I don't think
good
it's
the
gonna be
first
awful.
year Burrow and Chase did together after college.
That was a lot. That was a very different situation, though, I would say.
They were at Fresno State balling up. They weren't at LSU balling. They were at Fresno State. The only reason I don't even know why I know that college.
Burrow and Chase were. And I mean, they were way more like explosive and dynamic and way better chemistry than Adams and Carr.
But I think the chemistry with
Burrow
with Carr
won the
and
Heisman and Chase
there.
won the Biletnikoff in that same year. I mean, that's like,
yeah.
But I think that their chemistry is still going to be good.
It's obviously going to be good, but I don't think it's going to be near what Burrow and Chase have, and I don't think it's going to be close to what Rodgers and Adams have.
Yeah, Rodgers and Adams have plenty of years.
But it's still going to be really good. It's not
like they have to restart.
Yeah.
Like they have some type of chemistry.
They know each other.
Well, I mean, and they both wanted to play with each other again, so it works too.
Derek Carr also said he'd buy him a car.
Yes, he did.
I wonder what car he'll get.
I
heard him say he was feeling a Rolls Royce or a Lambo. Is what I heard him say.
I would select a Lambo.
Well, they might need this.
Rolls Royce.
Derek Carr might need to get a new contract then.
Yeah, for real. He's gonna need that new contract.
That's a terrible trade for the Packers.
But I think the Raiders, that puts in their division, they needed that trade to compete.
Yeah.
To compete
Plus
in that
they got
division.
Chandler Jones, which is a really big pickup.
To compete in that division, they needed that trade. So now that they have that, puts them in the division hunt because the Chiefs used to they're gonna win that, but now.
I do not.
It's up for grabs between all three teams. The Broncos will not win it.
I don't necessarily think the Chiefs are
because they started off bad last year.
Yeah, they did,
and now they just lost.
They are not going to be as good as they were the last couple of years.
I agree with that.
Agreed.
I think the Raiders I will say though, the fact that the Raiders got the best receiver in the NFL and they got some defensive help
for two picks,
and people are still saying people are still assuming they're the worst team in that division. Like that division is like ridiculous.
They're loaded. That's the only reason why they're saying
that is the best division in football. I mean, is that even like an argument? Like I know people
because all four teams are really good.
Yeah, I mean I know people have said the AFC North is good.
You got the Steelers in that division. They have Mitch Trubisky starting.
The Steelers
absolutely not.
The Steelers have went downhill. I mean,
a couple years ago, if it was the Steelers a couple years ago, maybe we're having a conversation.
Yeah,
but this year's Steelers absolutely
the AFC West has to be. I mean, I don't. No other division comes to mind that is
not at all.
That's the best division in the NFL.
No doubt.
Without a doubt.
No doubt.
Last year, I would have said the NFC West: Cardinals, Rams, Niners,
Saints.
and
Saints.
No, the West had Cardinals, Rams, Niners, and
Seahawks.
Seahawks were bad, though. Okay,
well, the Seahawks suck,
going into this season, we didn't know the Seahawks were bad because Russ Wilson got hurt.
Yeah, so that's why.
Yes, I agree.
The NFC West is normally pretty good, and it'll be good again this year.
Oh, it'll be quality. Yeah, but not as good.
No,
as this
AFC
one.
West is like just. I mean, I was like just shocked at how stacked the AFC, and I don't know, like as a Bengals fan. When I first see how aggressively stacked the AFC got, I got a little discouraged.
Oh, I agree.
A little bit annoyed, if you will.
Because the 1 year, after being good for 1 year, everybody reloaded.
Yes, but
the
you
Bengals
also
made it to the Super Bowl and the NFL imploded on.
Yes, but you do also have to think like, oh hey, let's take a step back here. The Bengals did some good stuff too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. So some other just quick trades. I'm just gonna rattle off. Khalil Mack to the Chargers again beefs up the AFC West. The Rams traded Robert Woods to the Titans. That helps the Titans a lot because they just released Julio Jones.
That was a good move for the Titans.
So yeah, some solid trades to continue this crazy offseason. And we'll continue talking about the crazy offseason, talking about the free agents. So I'm looking at a list right now of just all of the free agents that have currently signed, and it goes by money. So this isn't like player ranking; it's money. So the highest paid currently was Von Miller, who was signed from the Rams to Buffalo. I really like that.
Can I talk about the Bills for a second?
Yeah, you can.
I think the Bills are going to come out of the AFC with they're going to be the team representing the AFC in the Super Bowl, and I think that they have as good a chance as anybody in the NFL to win the Super Bowl. Because you got to think, if they do not lose that coin toss, they had all of them against the Chiefs, so they're beating the Chiefs, and they should have beaten the Chiefs. So all they did this year, they did not lose anyone besides Cole Beasley, who was out all last year. They did not lose anyone, and they picked up Von Miller on defense. To be one of their linebackers.
Which is exactly what they needed.
Exactly what they needed.
They
has
pass
2
rush.
Super Bowls. Like, come on. Like, how are they not the AFC favorites right now? I mean, I understand the Bengals got better, and I think they're 2 to come out of that division.
I have the Bills as my AFC favorites.
AFC Bills absolutely did amazing this offseason, and I think they will be very good.
I think they did a great job.
As much as I really want to say the Bengals, but I don't know. I mean, the Bills.
They're good. I think if the Bills played the Bengals in the AFC Championship game last year, the Bills win that game.
It's a possibility. I don't know. I don't
know. I didn't think they were going to beat the Chiefs, the Bengals. So I mean, I don't know.
That's true. I mean, they had to beat. Yeah.
I just think.
They play each other in the regular season this year? Yeah. The Bengals and the Bills. Okay, that'll be a really good game this year.
It's later in the season too, I think. So it'll be a good look into what we're going to be seeing there.
You can keep going. Sorry, I just want to get my opinion on the Bills.
Interesting. But no, I think like
I agree with that. Finally, have somebody that supports the Bills with me.
Oh no, I
support the Bills.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Obviously, I'm a Bengals fan, but I still support the Bills. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a Bills fan, but I mean, the Bills are probably the AFC favorites.
Bills
that's a reasonable, take. But I think the Chiefs being in contention for the AFC North or the AFC is kind of questionable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I know the way too early.
It's the AFC. Bowl. It's the AFC West and the Bengals and the Browns in contention.
And the Bills. The Bills were in the AFC West.
Okay, yeah. Plus the Bills.
Bills, Bengals, AFC West.
Yeah,
maybe Browns.
The way too early Super Bowl odds came out, and it had what did it have? I think it was the Bills were 1, which is that's
reasonable.
Fair. That's reasonable.
Very reasonable. That is not
what's not reasonable in my opinion is the Chiefs were 2.
That is not reasonable.
I don't think that's
reasonable. Was this before the Tyreek Hill trade or after the Tyreek Hill trade?
It might be before.
It was probably before.
But still, I don't think they're 2.
Even still, I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, I think those rankings stand. The last I saw, and I was thinking sometime this past week, the last I saw the Super Bowl odds or whatever, they had the Bills. They had I don't know the exact order, but I'll tell you the top 5 were the Bills, the Packers, the Bucks, the Chiefs, and the Bengals. I'm pretty sure that was the top 5, and I agree with all of that except for. Actually, I only agree with 3 of those.
They have the Chiefs at 3 behind the Bucks.
They
have Bills, Bucks.
I agree with 3 of those. I agree with the Bills. I agree with the Bucks. I agree with the Bengals. I do not agree with the Packers and the Chiefs.
Ooh, they have the Bengals low.
The one I saw had the Bengals at 4.
This one has the Bengals behind the Packers, Rams, Niners, Chargers, Broncos, Cowboys, Browns.
That is an awful list.
I don't agree with that one bit.
That is
terrible. I wouldn't agree with that.
I'm going to start betting on the Bengals then. That is a terrible list. Keep that list like that.
No, dude, that's the thing. Everybody always bets against the Bengals. It doesn't matter how good of a season they had last year or how good their team is now. They're still going to bet against them. I will say unbiasedly, if I was not a Bengals fan, I would still not have that as my ranking.
The Packers are not better than the Bengals.
No, even if I was not a Bengals fan, I would still have the Bengals in the top 5 for Super Bowl contenders.
Oh yeah,
you have to. I mean, as an unbiased viewer, you have it's just unreasonable for you to not put them in the top 5.
Yeah.
Some other big signings. Speaking of the Bengals, that we talked about this before. We wanted them to get was Teron Armstead and Brandon Scherf. Scherf went to the Jags, and Teron Armstead went to the Dolphins.
That was who they got. Yeah, they got Teron Armstead. They gave him 5-year deal or whatever, which
5
may
year,
have been a bit much.
5 years, $75 million.
That may have been a little bit much.
It definitely was much.
I think they overpaid for him a little bit.
Yeah, the Jags.
The guy's 30 some odd.
Yeah.
That is a big contract.
Jags also got Christian Kirk on a large contract. Here's my thing with the Jazz. Not the Jazz, the Jags. The Jags upgraded their team, but they overspent to upgrade their team. And the people that they got weren't worth the money that they got.
That's what I was going to say. They overspent for people that weren't worth all that money.
But they upgraded the team for sure.
The team's upgraded.
Oh, it's an upgrade. Anything's an upgrade.
But they gave Christian Kirk at best wide receiver 2, $72 million.
Yeah, that is excessive.
Yeah. So I think
they definitely overpaid for. They could have done anything and it would have been an upgrade.
Yeah.
So they overpaid.
All right, I guess, shall we talk about the Bengals now?
Whatever.
Let's do it.
So the Bengals pretty active in day one, I'd say. They got a little bit less active as the days went on. But they signed Alex Kappa, a guard from Tampa Bay. Then they signed Ted Karras, center from New England. Then they re-signed Eli Apple. They signed Hayden Hurst from Atlanta. They lost C.J. Uzomah. And then who else did they sign? Leo Collins.
Yeah.
And then they lost Ogunjobi, potentially.
I think their biggest loss was Ogunjobi, obviously. Mm-hmm. I think Uzomah is not a huge loss. I think Hurst
makes up for that.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I don't. C.J. Uzomah wasn't like insane this year. He had a couple good plays.
Yeah, so he was just a good like team player.
Yeah. He's just a good guy in the locker room. So I don't think that's a huge loss. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Ogunjobi potentially could be a big loss. I think he was very good this year.
But they did re-sign B.J. Hill.
Yes, and that's also a big loss we all knew was going to happen. We all knew Ogunjobi was leaving this year.
Probably. Yeah. It was more than likely to happen.
And I think that they had the best offseason out of any team. Because in the Super Bowl, if you have the line they have now, they win the Super Bowl. They win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what else you want out of a team to go, our offseason went from we lost Super Bowl to if we had the team we had now, we would 100% win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What else do you want in a offseason? You come away from the offseason saying we would have 100% won the Super Bowl last year if we would have had this team.
Yeah,
that is very great to go into the new season.
They're definitely one of my winners.
I think they definitely had like the best offseason for them.
The best offseason they potentially
spectacular offseason, and it's not even over yet. We haven't even got to the draft.
I know they can still continue to beef up the offense or go defense.
I still definitely think they need to beef up the O-line and the draft, but I think
not as much as they had to before.
It's not as desperate of a need, but they still need to pick.
They just need to get rid of Isaiah Prince and get somebody in there to replace him as a backup. He just needs to go. He should be cut.
We haven't made that Isaiah Prince.
We gotta make the shirts.
He is awful.
But
he's terrible.
They definitely are in like a best player available spot, and corner, defensive tackle. But I think the offensive
they still need
line,
a guard, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the offensive line still needs to be.
Yeah,
that's always going to be a concern.
Yeah, like that is definitely a position that I think they should still spend 3 to 4 draft picks on.
Yeah.
Of their 9 picks, 3 to 4 of them I would say should go to the O-line still.
I think
2 to 3.
Solid.
It's not that big of a deal.
No.
I think
3 would be a good pick. No.
Yeah, I think the
Bengals.
What is that? 6 more picks, to use for the defense or any other position of tight end. Tight end's a big one.
I think Bengals just take BPA.
I think for the first, unless
at 31,
at 31, you take BPA, and then you take bet, and then
that is crazy. They have a 31 pick. That is just crazy.
I know.
And then you take need throughout.
Yeah,
because like BPA, I've seen them mocked.
Okay, here's
Zion Johnson. Obviously, I've seen
a couple Linderbaum balls.
Yeah, I've seen that recently,
which would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Then we can move Karras to guard because he played guard a little bit.
Which one was Linderbaum?
Linderbaum is the Iowa center.
He's really good.
He won't drop to 31. I don't think he will, but I have seen a handful of mock drafts that do happen.
And then I've seen Kerr Elam, the guy for Florida.
I've seen a lot of those.
I've seen some Andrew Booth. A couple of defensive tackle.
I've mainly seen corners since the Bengals got a bunch of guys for the O-line. I'd mainly see the.
They are in talks with what did we say? Tyrann Mathieu and Stephon Gilmore.
Yes, I've seen Tyrann Mathieu's top 3. Has them and the Raiders on it.
And then Gilmore, right? Are they still in the running for Gilmore?
That would be huge. If they get Gilmore, they are definitely going to draft line.
Gilmore is also 31, though, so he would be a solution for maybe 1 year.
That's a 2-year, 1 to 2 year contract.
I would give Gilmore a 1-year deal.
Saints,
I would
Bengals,
give
and Raiders.
Either of those two a 1-year deal. Honestly, I'm not signing Tyrann Mathieu. Unless he is willing to take a very low number, I'm not signing him because they need to re-sign Jesse Bates.
Okay. They need to re-sign Jesse Bates. Agreed.
And they have Von Bell at the same safety spot that Tyrann Mathieu plays. So I'm not signing Tyrann Mathieu unless he's willing to take a very small deal. Now,
I'd rather have Gilmore.
Yeah, I was going to say, Stephon Gilmore, I would sign him for a 1-year deal if I'm the Bengals. He's 31.
Because then that puts Apple at cornerback 4, and then I think we're set at corner.
I'm
because that you got to think if one of our corners goes down, we put an Apple who's not the best, but he's not awful.
All the hate on Eli Apple is a little bit much.
He's remembered for giving up that touchdown.
He's solid.
He is a
but
solid
if he's our corner 4, we're looking really good.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, Eli Apple is a... I mean, I would even maybe say a little below average corner, but he's not as bad as everybody made him out to be after the Super Bowl.
No, he just had a bad game.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. But because he talked so much crap.
Yeah, I don't think that was.
He also had to guard the best receiver in the NFL that year.
So I mean, I think all in all, even if he still had to start at corner this year, it's not preferable, but it's not the worst case scenario.
No, not at all.
Definitely. But yeah. So I think best player available, but it needs to be obviously best player available at a position of need. So, like, if Linderbaum drops,
they're not going to draft a running back.
Yeah, like...
So, best player available at defensive tackle, corner, or guard.
Like, if Linderbaum drops, you take Linderbaum. If Zion Johnson's there, take Zion Johnson.
Did we just get a center, though?
But he can play guard, too.
He played guard with the Patriots.
So, if we get Linderbaum, we move him to guard.
Then you move him back to guard.
Then we're fine.
Then the line's, like, totally fit. I mean, all 5 positions are fixed at that point. Because now... It's like the left guard, I think, is still kind of up in the air.
Yeah, because it's Carmen and...
Jackson Carmen.
Adenji, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Carmen's unproven.
But he was a rookie last year, so, I mean, there's a chance that he can make a year.
He's a question mark.
Yes, so, I mean, we just don't know, but I think...
Best case scenario is we have that line plus Isaiah Prince is gone.
Yes.
That's the best case scenario.
I don't think Isaiah Prince is going to be gone. I think he's going to be on the team, but I don't think he'll
Which
play.
is the worst move the Bengals have ever made.
He can't step foot on the field.
If he steps foot on the field, we will not win a Super Bowl.
He won't step foot on
the field.
That was the most depressing thing being at the game. Being at the game and hearing Isaiah Prince run out, being started, that just, I was like, they're going to lose. I cannot believe they won with him on the field.
The funniest part about that was on the way, like on the drive to the game, you asked, like, I think you asked us, you were like, hey, does Isaiah Prince still play for the Bengals? And we were like, no, I don't think he does. And they announced him as a starter.
Yeah, not only was he on the team, that's a personal opinion.
And
Isaiah Prince should
he
be
started throughout the whole playoffs.
Which is unreal. I cannot believe, like,
the
Bengals had to have won a playoff game.
They were within 3 points of a Super Bowl victory with this guy at the right tackle.
But what's crazy is the pressure came from the left side. On that last play,
the guy on the right.
It was the guard. I think
the guy
he came through like
the guy on the right side of the Rams line must have fell or something like that. If not, they would have come from the right side. There's a reason why it did not come from the right side. It wasn't Isaiah Prince. There was something happened on the other side of the field. The reason that happened. Yeah, Isaiah Prince didn't do anything good on that play. I'm telling you.
Are you questioning Jonah Williams here?
No, Jonah Williams is a heck of a tackle. He's our best lineman currently. I'm just saying. Aaron
Leo Collins is really good.
Well, before we got all these guys.
Yes.
I'm just saying the pressure came from the left side. That's Jonah Williams' side. It wasn't his fault. It was the guard.
It came from
I don't know who the guard is.
I don't even know who the left guard was. A Dejende guy.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
I don't know.
But no, I think
Denjay.
I think the Bengals were the biggest, if not one of the biggest winners in this year's draft.
Yep.
They got all the holes they needed to fill. They filled, and they filled them with very good pieces. They didn't overpay for anybody.
They didn't overpay, and they filled them with young players. Karras, 29. For a lineman, that's young.
Not bad.
Kappa, 26. Kappa's 27. That's really good.
Isn't Leal like
Collins is 29 or 28.
That's
so
good.
All 3 of these guys they got are in their late 20s. Jonah Williams is like 24, 25.
Wow.
So, yeah, so all three of these pieces that they brought in, very good guys, big upgrades that they brought in, are young guys for offensive linemen. Offensive linemen played to like late 30s. So very
Andrew Whit was like 41.
He played into his 40s. Most of them played to their like late 30s. Yeah. So that's like a long time for them to have these guys. So they brought in very young guys, and they didn't overpay for them. Like the Dolphins, they overpaid for Teron Armstead.
And then the Scherf got a big contract too.
Scherf was overpaid for. Like the Jags overpaid these guys. The Bengals got young guys that are massive upgrades, very good players, and they didn't overpay for them.
I think that was exactly what they needed to do.
I've seen several people say that the Bengals had the best offseason.
I think they did.
I mean, even with these AFC West teams, with the Chargers getting all these guys, the Broncos, the Raiders, like even with those guys like stacking their teams, like people still think the Bengals had the best offseason.
Yeah, because they filled their exact holes.
Yeah,
exactly
so
they had a blaring hole and they fixed it. That's why.
And they didn't overpay.
And they still have the draft to beef up the line even more and fill in depth positions at corner and defensive tackle. I think that's what I'm saying. I think there is absolutely no reason to think the Bengals should not be favorites to go to the Super Bowl again. I mean, them or the Bills. Yep. I think the Bengals or the Bills. There's no reason to doubt that the Bills or the Bengals are Super Bowl favorites again this year. There's yeah.
I agree.
Those are my top two teams out of the AFC.
So this has it been 2 weeks since free agency started?
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks. I think.
These past 2 weeks have been absolutely crazy for all NFL fans.
Yeah.
It's been really fun to watch because for me personally, this has been the most probably active NFL offseason that I've been a part of or seen.
The only other one that comes to mind for me was the one 2 or 3 years ago, the one where Stephon Diggs moved from the Vikings to the Bills. And Brady to the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
That offseason, I remember that offseason being crazy, but I think this one might be the wildest one.
Yeah, I think it was.
Like almost every superstar is on a different team now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been nuts. Mm-hmm. But I'm very, very excited for next season. I'm also very excited for the draft.
I'm so excited for this fall, like this next season to start. Like especially because as a Bengals fan, like they've sucked up until last year, and like we were sniffing the Lombardi last year. We came so close to it, and now we didn't get it, but now we're ready for the next year, and we have a shot to get it this year. So I'm I'm so excited. So
it's gonna be fun.
And draft will be fun. And, training camp, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The Bengals might pull off the first 20-win season.
20-win season. They'll go undefeated in the
preseason.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then go undefeated.
Well, no. You're counting playoffs here.
So if they win the division...
If you win 20...
If they go 17-0, they will be the number 1 seed.
So then, yeah.
So they would have the first round bye, so that means they would play 3 playoff games at max. So that's 20 games there.
20-0.
Preseason, they play 3. They can go 23-0.
They will not lose again.
That would be awesome.
That would be insane, dude.
No team will ever do that. But.
No, that's never going to happen. But they might be able to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Now, on the topic of crazy stuff, we're in March Madness. It's coming towards an end. And for all of you guys to know, my bracket got shattered again, and then ran over by a truck, and then burned. So my bracket's absolutely wrecked. All 4 of my Final Four teams, I think, are out now.
Oh, yeah, all 4 of mine are out.
I think I may have 1.
Well, let me check ours.
I know 2 of the 3 brackets I made, all 4 of mine.
I think I'm 4th in our league, or our thing.
First place was
second.
First place was Kinsey, and she voted by the best jerseys.
That is just ridiculous.
I actually did a research, and then it just didn't work.
Oh, yeah, I did too. I legit went through every pick I had, and I am doing terrible. I think I'm 36%.
Oh, wait, never mind.
What?
36%.
No, never mind.
Yeah, no.
I clicked on the Final Four, and I thought that I correctly predicted all of them.
No, I'm 23%.
I'm probably 5%.
So the only Final Four team in our bracket that I had was North Carolina. Oh. The other guys are out.
I didn't have any.
And then
I had UCLA, Auburn.
Evan, you're 34%.
Yeah, I know, I'm bad.
I
had UCLA, Auburn, Arizona, and Gonzaga.
Evan, you're 9th.
Well, that's one of mine. Isn't my other one 4th?
I had Kansas in the title game.
No, Evan number 1. Or Evan number 2.
Evan's bracket 6. Evan bracket 2.
6.
9.
So 6. I'm 6th.
Who's perfect bracket?
Nick.
He's last.
Yeah, he told me, I'm going to have a perfect bracket, and he hasn't. But the biggest, I think, obviously, the biggest headline from this March Madness is the play of the St. Peter's Peacocks.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
The number 15 seed sadly beat my Kentucky Wildcats in the first round, which was very, very sad. I was very upset about that. But I've healed. I was rooting for them for the last 2 or 3 games they played, and sadly it came to an end against North Carolina as they lost by 20. But nevertheless, they had a great run, and it was very fun to watch. Shout out Doug Edert.
Not only did he go far in the tournament, he made some big money, too.
That guy's a stud.
But yeah, it's an all-blue blood Final Four.
Which is crazy.
Minus Kentucky.
Yeah, well, Kentucky. I don't know if you count them a blue blooded. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think I was pretty sad about how the North Carolina St. Peter's game went. I mean, I was hoping it would at least be a close game. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
With it being a
If you
20-point
look,
game.
all of Loyola when they went their silver in a row, and they made it to the Final Four, and then I think VCU, the other big Cinderella, made it to the Final Four as well. So St. Peter's almost did that, but they couldn't get there.
I was just disappointed with it being a blowout.
I know,
but I also think that it is really cool to have Duke and North Carolina as the Final Four matchup.
I bet that'll be probably one of the most watched NCAA tournament games ever.
That rivalry is it's not. I feel like it's not quite the equivalent, but it's close to Ohio State Michigan.
It's up there,
and they are in the Final Four.
That's Ohio State Michigan playing.
That's Ohio
playoffs.
State Michigan in the playoffs.
That would be nuts.
Yeah, so that's why I think it's going to be sweet. I'm excited to watch that game.
I definitely sometimes I'm I'll just turn the Final Four because it's the Final Four. This year, I am going to watch.
Oh, it's going to be
and then
sweet.
the Kansas Villanova game is going to be really good too.
Yeah, I did not know
Villanova wins that game.
I hope Kansas wins just for my bracket because I had them in the championship.
I hope Villanova. My bracket's already.
I could be.
Mine's done.
If they win, I'm first place in the league. So I'm really hoping Kansas wins.
I'm hoping Villanova.
I would
Colin
like to see,
Gillespie.
I'd like to see Villanova and Duke. I'd like to see Duke just because this is Coach K's final season.
Yeah, I want Duke to win it all.
I want Duke to lose. I want them to lose.
Well,
you're a Kentucky
fan, so I mean, I'm rooting for Duke in this just because of Coach K's final year.
Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, I guess if Coach K
that's why
came out on top in his last ride, I guess. But I still don't want to win. I'm never going to root for Duke. But
Blue Devils.
The only season I rooted for Duke was when they had Zion because they were just really fun.
Dude,
to watch.
that team was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Did they even make it to the Final Four that year?
Nope. Made to the Elite Eight.
Good.
And then lost to Michigan State.
Good.
I talked about that last time. I said they're one of the most disappointing college teams ever.
They might be. I mean,
top 3 recruits all went to one school and didn't win at all.
And then all 3 of them are doing nothing in the NBA.
I don't know. Zion's doing some crazy dunks on his story. Been in the floor as well.
Been in the floor. Did you see that?
He went to go dunk and the floor bent.
Well, the floor...
Is he just fat now?
No, he's lost 30 pounds.
Oh, okay.
But the floor he was in is supposed, from what I've heard, is supposed to be for injury recovery. So that has the floor is a bit, I guess, bendier, so it's not as hard on your legs. But this March Madness has still been fun to watch, even though my team lost day 2. But it was still
round 1.
Yeah, round 1. But I mean, I'm just glad that they lost, and then St. Peter's actually kept winning. If St. Peter's got blown up by 40 against Murray State, I would have felt terrible. But they at least lost to a team that actually is not too bad. Yeah, they made it to the Elite Eight. Yeah. And what's also really cool is have you seen the pictures and heard of of St. Peter's college?
Yeah.
It's not good. It's a piece of crap.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
their home gym is worse than half
and they
of
beat
gyms,
a Big Ten school and an SEC school.
Yeah, I saw the incoming freshman class at Purdue is bigger than St. Peter's entire school or something like that.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
And I saw that they make $1.5 million a year as a school, and every other school they played makes over $20 million.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of March Madness. A team like that can beat the big dogs.
It's so awesome.
I know. I think
that's why it's such a cool thing. I was thinking about whoever invented March Madness is an absolute genius.
Absolute genius.
The top, that is just so cool.
Because all you got to do is win your conference to get in. Yeah. St. Peter's won this. They won the MAC.
And
they're in. I mean, nobody's even ever heard of it. If they wouldn't have made this run, I would have never heard of that college.
Me neither.
I would have no idea.
I feel same with Loyola Chicago, same with UMBC, same with half of these schools that we know of.
Never even heard of them. Yeah. And it's really cool for those players too, because Doug Eder is a superstar now because of this.
And nobody would have ever
because of this tournament run. He is a superstar, and I I never heard of him until now.
Yeah, me neither.
No clue who he was until now.
Yeah.
Like, nobody had any idea who he was, but now he is like a super famous. I mean, he's a superstar now.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome.
He could get drafted. You never know. I mean, March Madness boosts stocks.
Yeah, sure. Although
I would just draft them just because.
I heard that their coach is rumored to be going to Seton Hall, though, which I think would be really good for the coach.
For the coach, yeah, because he used to play at Seton Hall.
Well, and
it's a much bigger school.
With how good he did at this, like St. Peter's, now he's going to Seton Hall.
Yeah, that would be huge for them.
Yeah,
I think they would be pretty good with him. Probably.
One thing you said that they you win your conference, which is great. But I think it's funny that there's 4 or 5 teams that win their conference and then have to play in the first 4. So you win your conference, but you don't automatically get in for some teams.
Yeah,
which I think they need. I think they need to change that though, because I think if you win your conference, you should automatically.
Yeah, I think I agree
and the teams on the bubble should play it out.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I think it should be like the last 4 teams that are like
should play it out. I agree.
Those are the ones that should play it. Like if you
thought of that,
because if you win the conference, you should get in automatically. And like most teams, like that's how it is most things. So like I mean, like a smaller D1 school like that, you just say, hey, like let's just win the conference.
That's the whole goal. Yeah,
that's what you aim for. We can just win the conference, then we're going to March Madness. I mean, a school that has like barely any students, like $1 million income per year, a gym that's worse than half the high school gyms around here.
Yeah,
just win the conference, and now they're in the big dance.
Yeah, I mean, all the way to the Elite 8.
Yeah, I mean, and those like their teams like superstars now because of this. Like, I mean, the whole country.
Every time I turned the TV on, they were getting interviewed.
Mm-hmm. Everybody across the whole country was rooting for them just because they're the massive underdog. So their school gets a lot of attention. These guys that were not big name recruits, nobody knew who they were. Like Doug Eddard is like insanely famous now, signing deals, making money,
$10,000
because of this tournament run. I mean, it's really it's awesome for the.
What's funny about Doug is he comes off the bench, like he's not even a starter.
Yeah.
And
he's the favorite though. Everybody loves
100%.
him. He's a stud.
I know.
He's good.
I know, but it's just funny that he's like the most famous player, but he doesn't even start.
Yeah. But he is good though. Do you really think he'd be good enough to get drafted though?
No.
Like
he might get a chance to play in summer league.
Yeah, undrafted summer league. I'd pick him up on my team just cause.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like. You don't think he would actually be able to make it in the NBA?
No. It's very hard to make it to the NBA.
Yeah, but he is good.
Well, yeah, he's
that
just shows you how difficult it is to make it A, into the NCAA, and B, into the NBA. Because they were talking to Doug and then whoever the really good player, they're the really good players, I forget his name. But they were like, yeah, we went to major high schools and we played against these really good teams, and I played against some of these dudes, and I'm at St. Peter's and they're at Purdue. And then Doug's never going to play in the NBA probably.
Yeah.
So it just kind of puts it into perspective how hard it is to get to that stuff.
Yeah.
But they made the tournament fun, honestly.
It's been a really fun tournament.
I think that's the second year in a row that a 15 seeds made it to the Sweet 16. Because Oral Roberts made it last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And guess what? Oral Roberts beat Ohio State, and then Doug Eddard and the St. Peter's beat Kentucky.
They're 2 top teams. It's tough.
Both lost to 15 seeds back-to-back years.
That sucks.
But that's okay. It makes them more fun. But yeah, I love March Madness. So you said
I'd like to see Duke.
You want to see Duke? Yeah. Who do you want to see?
I want to see Duke.
I'm not going to say Duke.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say Duke.
I don't want any of these teams to win, honestly. So I'm going to go Villanova. I don't want Kansas to win because Kansas.
I don't want Kansas.
Now listen
because Kansas just beat. They passed Kentucky for most wins, I think, the other day. So I don't want them to win anymore. North Carolina we don't like, and then Duke we don't like. So I'm going to go Villanova.
I saw a stat the other day that said Jay Wright has more
every time
titles than Coach K. Has more final and has the same amount of Final Four appearances than Coach. Not Coach K. I was wrong. Okay, Calipari.
Yeah.
So I saw people saying that they think Jay Wright's a better coach than Calipari.
He probably is.
So I just thought that was crazy. You never.
I think he's a better coach than Coach. I think he's a better coach than Calipari. Calipari's a better recruiter.
Yeah, he's trying to get everybody in the NBA.
I mean, yeah, it's not a terrible.
He literally tweeted that out. He's like, "I want to get my guys to the NBA."
I mean, that's the end goal for 99% of athletes.
So being a Kentucky fan, you gotta think your number one goal is your coach's number one goal is to get his players in the NBA, not to win the NCAA championship.
Yeah, but I mean,
we've
seen.
I think the number one goal of a college coach is to be to build a team.
But we've seen we have seen getting NBA level guys can win you a championship.
Well, yeah.
Well, obviously,
because like their 2015 team, they had Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns.
And Booker came off the bench.
Exactly. So
like that's literally insane.
And they just it's March Madness.
They won it all?
No, they lost to the white guys of Wisconsin. But that's March Madness for you.
Frank Kaminsky and Sam Decker.
I hate those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that was a crazy stat to throw out there.
Yeah. Plus, Jay Wright, every time he's been in the Elite Eight, he's won the national championship.
That's crazy. So yeah, that's what's crazy to me is like Jay Wright, like. You don't think he's
Jay
a top 5 coach, but he is.
I think he's a better call. I think he's a better coach than Coach Cal, but I think Coach Cal not develops, but
he's just a better recruiter. He gets better players.
Yeah, but Cal's still a heck of a coach. You should see the turnaround from the guys that go there from high school to the pros is crazy.
Unreal, yeah.
Like almost every Kentucky player.
I'm not bashing Cal. I'm just saying that Jay Wright's actually a good coach.
Oh, he's
you don't realize it.
Yeah, he's an underrated coach for sure. So yeah, I went Villanova. You have Duke, and you like Kansas.
Duke.
Oh, you have Duke.
But like, if Kansas,
I'd rather have
because I won the group.
I'd rather have Kansas win than Duke because I like Christian Braun. I think he's a beast.
I like
and Ochai Agbaji.
I like Agbaji a lot.
Agbaji.
I guess silver shoes. I don't know why. They're cool.
He's pretty good. Zach, your favorite team, the Warriors. They're not doing too hot.
Oh yeah,
they're bad.
They're 1-5 in their last 6 games, and I'm pretty sure Steph's hurt, and Clay is not playing tonight, and Draymond's not playing tonight. So you're probably going to lose.
They're going to lose again, then.
And you're playing the Grizzlies, so yeah.
Oh, they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on your team?
At least they're in the playoffs.
True, they're the 3rd seed.
They're not going to win a playoff series.
You don't think is Curry going to come back to the playoffs?
He should.
They're not going to win a playoff
unless
series.
It was a major.
Really? Why? Why is that?
Who would they play right now?
I'm looking.
Because...
what was it? 1-8-2-7. They would play the Nuggets.
Nuggets are winning that series.
You don't think they'd beat the Nuggets?
No, Nuggets are good.
Nope. Let me look at the standings real quick. Okay, so they lose to the Suns in the series, they lose to the Grizzlies in the series, they lose to the Mavericks in the series, they lose to the Jazz. I could see them beating the Timberwolves in the series.
They would beat the Jazz.
So you think they would lose to almost every team in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You are telling me that they are the worst team in the playoffs?
In the West, yes. Let me look in the East.
I think
the Heat will beat them in a series. The Sixers, the Bucks, the Celtics.
Good Lord, they can't be the worst team in the playoffs.
The Bulls would be a very good series.
With a healthy Curry and a healthy
Raptors. Okay. Listen to me. The Bulls would be a good series. Raptors, the Cavs, and the Hornets.
They'd beat the Cavs.
Yeah, those would all be good series.
And the
Warriors.
Bulls. And
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I'm just.
I agree. Yes, the Nets. They would not beat them in a series.
No. Kyrie can play all games now, unless he plays Toronto in the first round.
I do not think that they will.
And he can't.
So I hope they play Toronto in the first round so he can't play.
Oh shoot! They're actually. No, they're not. They're not projected. Never mind. I thought they were projected to play.
That would be so funny if they had to play the Raptors in the first round and they lost because
that would be an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
So if I was like,
funny.
If I was the team who's going to play the Nets in the playoffs,
yeah, Canada.
If I was the team that was playing the Nets in the playoffs, I would just have my city say you can't play them to the vaccine. Because you got to think, if you're playing the Nets and you say that, Kyrie cannot play, and you're going to win that series.
That would be hilarious if the Nets lose in the first round because Kyrie can't play in Canada.
That would be funny. Yeah, the Warriors are currently 2 games over the Mavericks. I think they could beat the Mavs.
I think that'd be a good series.
And the Jazz, and the Timberwolves too.
There is absolutely no way they are the worst. I don't watch the NBA really until the playoffs.
I think they're the 4th best team.
That's fair then.
I have Grizzlies, Suns, and Nuggets over them.
Obviously the Suns, yeah.
Suns are going to win though.
Yeah.
Again. All right, no,
the Bucks won last year.
The East is crazily stacked.
So is the West.
Stacked. But the East is a 1 game.
Who do you think's going to win the East?
The East is 1 game apart between seeds 1 and 4.
Who's going to win the East? You think?
The Bucks.
Again? So you think it's going to be Bucks, Suns again?
Oh, winning the whole... Sorry, I thought you were...
like winning the East Conference. Like,
yeah, them are the Sixers.
Yeah.
So it could very well be
I
the
don't
Bucks
know. James Harden's cooling down a lot.
So it could definitely be the Bucks and the Suns again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch that.
Why not?
I don't know.
We watched Cleveland play San Francisco, or whatever the heck they are, Golden State.
They're in San Francisco.
Well,
we watched them play Golden State for like 5 years. So.
It's different.
Yeah, that was different because you had LeBron and Curry facing off.
Yeah.
Well,
You have Giannis and Booker.
Giannis. I mean,
It's not the same.
it's not the same.
I don't think the Bulls are doing anything. Sorry.
No, Bulls.
Sorry.
I'm
Sorry,
Connor.
Connor.
Yeah.
I'll still watch the NBA playoffs. See, I don't really know much about it because I don't watch it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So.
I think the Heat might be able to go far. They're good.
I love the Heat.
If Jimmy doesn't punch Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah.
Did you
Let's
see that?
No.
Yeah, he got mad and he said he was going to fight his coach. And then one of the players just let's go outside and I'll fight you.
What on earth?
That's funny.
Was it Haslam who said that to him?
Yeah, that guy's like 50.
I don't know why he's on the team. He doesn't play.
He's just an assistant coach at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's either going to...
How old is he?
He's 42, maybe? Oh. But he hasn't played...
pretty dang old.
He hasn't played in like 3 years. He just sits on the bench. And then he just accepts his role. The Lakers might be able to squeeze in the playoffs. They're number 10.
Will.
They're number 10.
They'll win the playoff game. They'll get in.
LeBron did just have a real serious ankle injury.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he said... They asked him... I guess he hurt his ankle and he said it was horrible.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, then I don't know.
I think they'll still get in the playoffs because they'll play like the... they'll get in, but they'll lose. They'll get swept by the Suns, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then East Nets are the 8th seed. So the two teams we thought
I
were
think
going
it
to
would
win...
be absolutely hysterical if the Nets played the Raptors.
And Weaver, you wanted to talk about the Magic for a little bit?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about the Magic.
The Magic are currently tied for the worst team in the NBA. They've won 20 games.
So bad.
They have Jalen Suggs, though.
Them, the Rockets, and the Pistons. So that's basically the top 3 picks of last year have not gotten any better.
That's so terrible.
Yeah, but Jalen...
How do you have a top 3 pick and not get any better?
Oh, because it takes a lot. I don't know. Jalen Suggs has sucked. Green's been decent. And
Cunningham's been good.
Do you think the Pistons will ever be average?
Yes.
Do you think the Magic will ever be average?
Yes. They have building blocks. Plus,
Butterbox?
building blocks.
Oh, I thought it was some dude. I thought you just named some random player. I was like, who is that guy?
He is a stud.
I've never heard of him.
That?
Yeah. They'll probably have the first overall pick. Nah, maybe.
No. You can't.
It's random.
Yeah, it's
I know,
random.
I
You
know.
can't really.
They'll have a top 5 pick. And if they get lucky and they get top 3, then they'll get either Ivy, Chet, or Paolo.
How in the world is Chet Holmgren going to do good in the NBA? He is 7 foot, 190 pounds.
Because he's actually really good.
I know
He's
he
very
is,
skilled.
but dude, he has to put on weight.
He will.
He literally
He will.
looks like sickly skinny. Like,
He
it is
will.
bad.
Yeah,
Like,
he'll
it is
put on
really
weight.
bad.
He'll put on weight, sure.
He needs to put on like at least 50
Did you see that
pounds.
Zion meme?
No.
It was like they need to draft Chet Holmgren, so they'll have Chet Holmgren eat everything that Zion would eat, and then Zion can eat everything that
this
Chet would
guy has to gain at least 40 to 50 pounds. I'm serious.
I'd say like 20.
He'd only be like 210 at that point.
eat. Yeah,
He's 7
if he was like
foot.
230, that'd be solid.
I would say
40.
at least.
So yeah, 40.
Yeah,
I still think he's going to be good because he's just a special type of player. But yeah, he does need to get
he
weight.
needs to gain weight. I mean, it is like
Didn't he have like a 2020 like 8 game the other day?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Watching him like play for Gonzaga was just like, I mean, he's good. He's very good. But it's just like,
He looks weird on the court.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I was just looking at him. I was like, dude, like, what is that? like, you need to put on a aggressive amount of weight because it looks unhealthy.
Yeah, it does. Man, the Magic suck.
Well, that's too bad for them. 20 and 55.
56.
56. All right, they lost again.
The Pistons are 20 and 55.
They're worse than the Pistons.
Yeah.
Lord.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. thank you all for listening, and hope you guys have a good rest of your days.